sector. Yeah,
that just is like
the corporate
that
culture.
So like does not sit well with me.
Yeah. Well, I'm fortunate that we don't have much of that pressure.
Yeah.
The other advocates, we talk, and everybody understands. We all need a break, and
right.
so yeah.
Absolutely. What would you say is the most gratifying aspect of your work?
Gratifying aspect. Oh. Well, I guess, it's easier to just talk about we often talk about what's closer to the surface is what's least gratifying, but, I think seeing people kind of have that aha moment of understanding about how mental health is part of health. I think it's the more public education piece is the most gratifying. As much as I sort of dread doing these, health fairs where we'll have a table, and fortunately with Eddie on board and Jenny, they do more of that. But when I do those, it actually is gratifying when I'm talking to somebody who have nothing to do with mental health, but they just come by and then a conversation starts and they go, oh, I hadn't thought about that, but this warm line, I have a brother who could really use that. And so they take the card. And so that makes me feel good. Yeah, it's very gratifying. And then when we talk about, again, how, to me, this whole issue of just public awareness that mental health is not a stigma, but it's just part of health.
That's right.
Is when people kind of have that aha moment, that's very rewarding to me. So, and of course, I really get satisfaction when people, say that we're doing good work, or that they see the value of what we do. I've really been, since I got here, trying to raise our profile and have more of a presence in the community and with the other advocates, with the legislature, and so it makes me feel good when people recognize that.
Yeah.
And we all like to feel like what we're doing is recognized in some way, that it's valued. So yeah, all that. And with the people I work with, it's always gratifying when I see that they're getting something out of it.
Right.
That always is good. Yeah, it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge.
Yeah. Well, speaking of challenges, what is the most challenging aspect of your work?
Well, I think it's trying to do all this mission, with such a small team, with such limited resources.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, the longer I'm in the job, the more I realize what's really needed. And that's really challenging. It's the funding. We can get funding. I mean, I had funding to do the warm line expansion kind of thing, but I can't really get funding just to enable us to pay the rent. Just sort of that kind of challenge for a lot of nonprofits is building that in.
Right.
We don't have. And there are a lot of reasons for it, but we don't have like a donor base of more than a few people.
Yeah.
Because we've depended in the last few decades or last couple of decades on this one grant or
the block
contract.
Grant.
Yeah. And because we're the statewide organization, we I think if it was just Charlottesville or just Stanton, we would solicit that community.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge to solicit a statewide community without offering people something.
Right. So your block grant, you can't use that for like your overhead expenses.
Well, we can some of it, yes,
yeah,
and that's what we've done.
Yeah.
But it's limited because the more the rent goes up every year, and the block grant doesn't. It's been the same for 4 years, 5 years. Rent's gone up every year, so it's that kind of thing. So I think the challenge really is like a sustainable donor base or funding source that has flexibility to it, so it's not tied to any one project.
Right.
To me, that's what I'm seeing. That's what's so frustrating. Because we could do so much more, I think, if we had that. Yeah, and then and then me personally, it's just because I have to wear so many hats. I mean, Anna does too. Any small nonprofit director.